So, across town, a lady was driving and a tree just randomly fell on her car. She got out, looked up in the sky, and a black bird flew by. She took it as an omen and said, "I knew it! I knew I shouldn't have gone outside today. There were all these signs. My car would be fine if I just didn't go out, and the black bird means that the day's just going to get even worse." Unhealthy mental states are going to cause us to make up neurotic meanings for things. Healthy mental states bring about healthy meanings. We make up different meanings in life, but we create them. We're the ones that make them up. Let's say we're walking down the street and pass by a new coworker that we just met last week, had a great conversation with them and felt like they were a friend. As we walk by, we say, "Hey John, it's Rob. So good to see you today. How are you?" John just ignores me and keeps walking right on by. Our minds start going crazy with stories and meanings. Did I say something wrong? Did someone at work talk crap about me? Am I getting fired or replaced by this person? It goes on and on. These stories are usually so much farther from the truth than reality. It's like the good old prepare for the worst case scenario, and I'm a master at that one. If we just had a great conversation with a coworker a few days ago, what are the chances that all of a sudden they don't want to have anything to do with us? Maybe they forgot their hearing aid and we didn't know that they were hard of hearing. Maybe they just got the worst news of their life and they're processing it. Maybe they were distracted. It could be anything, yet we make up these stories and believe them about the meaning of things. I was walking with a friend on school campus, and a guy walked by and bumped my shoulder very aggressively. I turned to my friend and said, "What's that guy's problem? What an asshole. He wants to start crap with me? I'm a black belt." And my friend said, "Oh, that's just James. He's actually blind and he can't see." I looked over as the guy pulled out a cane and started using it to continue walking. My anger was gone in an absolute flash. And then my friend said, "Ha, no, I'm just kidding. The guy's just a prankster and he's totally messing with you. He can totally see." And then I was pissed again. And then my friend said, "No, I'm just messing with you. He really is blind." And the anger was gone again. I was at the grocery store and a lady distracted by her kids didn't notice that her full shopping cart started rolling and went right into the side of my car. I got out and was irate. I started yelling, "Why can't you control your kids? What's wrong with you? Look at what you did." I was angry the entire time I was shopping. And then when I got back to my car, I was pulling out of the parking space and heard another thump hit my car. It was another shopping cart. I mean, what are the chances? I got out ready to blow my top and the anger vanished. I realized that the wind had blown an empty cart across the lot and into my car. Both were unintentional, but the story I told myself about why it happened made all the difference in my reaction. From that moment on, I try to treat everyone like an empty shopping cart. I was having the worst day ever. One of those days where if things got much worse, I'd probably go to the hospital. The sky was just falling. I was looking at my wallet for my insurance card just in case, and I forgot that I bought a lottery ticket last week. Out of boredom, I decided to check the numbers then. I almost passed out when I realized that I'd won $250,000, $250,000, baby. I started screaming out of excitement and fantasizing about all the things that this money could change in my life, the things that I could do for those that I love. It was my ticket to a better life. I was happier than I'd been in a long time. It was just the break I needed. While I was running around the house dancing, my partner realized that I accidentally checked the winning numbers from the drawing the day before and not for the day I bought the ticket. In an instant, all of the horrible feelings of despair came flooding back in, and then some. The disappointment of the whole situation just added to how horrible I felt. I started thinking, that's just my luck, or God playing a cruel joke on me. In this scenario, how could someone go from the darkest places to dancing around the house and then right back to the same dark place again? Sure, it might take something as extreme as winning the lottery to change the way we feel so drastically, but if the feelings were completely internal or if I had zero influence over them, I wouldn't be able to feel such joy if my thoughts or circumstances change. Now just think about that. The views, beliefs, and assumptions and meanings that we make up about what's going on in our lives have a monumental impact on the way we feel. It can either feed into whatever we're feeling and make things a lot worse, or they can change the way we feel completely in an instant. Like when somebody cuts us off in traffic and we get pissed. What if they're going to the hospital or racing home to a sick child? We just don't know that. But trying to see things as not so negative opens us up to different possibilities. Have you ever had a horrible day and drove fast? I mean, would it have helped if someone was honking and tailgating behind you because they got pissed and didn't know how bad your day was? If we make fewer meanings about the random things that happen in our lives and accept life arising from the great unknown, it just makes life so much easier. So after all these stories I've shared with you, what I'd like you to practice is paying attention to situations where something upsets you. Start becoming aware of how quickly your mind becomes flooded with meanings and see the lack of substance behind them. Ask yourself if you're making an assumption or are your thoughts based on absolute black and white truth. Be careful because our minds can do these serious mental gymnastics to convince us that something's true, especially when we're not well. This is such a simple practice, but it takes practice. I wanted to include some fun stories in this video, whether they actually happened or not, just to help you relate to or to catch yourself the next time you find yourself in a situation like this. As I always say, take good care of yourselves, and thank you so much for joining me for another Polar Warrior video. See you guys soon.